Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. I don't know, because everybody's watching this, because this is the most exciting place to be. Just got back from my mastermind group in Nashville. Again, I'm Morgan Wright, here to talk to you about kids, tweens, teens, and tech, the hidden dangers of social media and technology. But I found out I was missing one big thing, so it's time for a dramatic entrance. You ready for your dramatic entrance? Give the hero pose. Something I'm missing. We're going to fix that right now. It is I, your host, Morgan Wright, back with Jack Bauer with dramatic music. Yes, that dramatic music hailed the entrance and reemergence of Jack Bauer, cybercrime dog extraordinaire. When I went to my mastermind group meeting, men's group meeting in Nashville, Evans Mill this last week, and I can't tell you, nobody cared about me. Everybody asked, where's Jack Bauer? So here's Jack Bauer. So y'all, Jack Bauer is in the house. All right. So, hey, what are we going to talk about today? Lots of things, but I'm going to narrow it down to one. We always want to keep it down to one topic, one subject as we talk each time. And let me tell you, this one kind of ticks me off. This gets in one of the most frequent questions I get asked is, well, at what age should we talk about our kids? What age is too, young, or what age is too old? There a lot of people say, well, how old is too old? Well, the question here when we start talking about smartphones, devices, technology is how young is too young? So how young is too young? Is it 10? Is it 12? Is it 14? Is it 8? Is it 6? Guess what? In the UK, they just did a study, and I'm going to pull this up here for you. A quarter of children under 6 years old have smartphones. For you and Rio Linda, that's a Rush Limbaugh joke. You have to get that. That's 25% of all children. 1 out of every 4 have a smartphone under age 6. I got to tell you, I don't know why they need one. Why do you need a smartphone for your age under 6? Because here's what happens. This came from the UK, but trust me, folks, parents are all alike around the world. What happened is that despite parents insisting 11 is the ideal age, which I disagree with vehemently, a poll found 25% of these children aged 6 and under, guess what, already had their own mobile, and half of these, 1/4 of the kids spend up to 21 hours per week on their devices. The kids don't have a device problem. You have a device problem. You parents out there that give a 6-year-old a smartphone with cellular and Wi-Fi and they're downloading apps. It's happening. And some of you can say, well, that's not me. I get it. It's not some of you. The problem is you're in the minority. A lot of folks, and it seems like the majority. So it looks like Samsung was the first one out there. Also, researchers also found out, guess what? 8 in 10 parents don't limit the amount of time children spend on their phones, while 75% don't disable the data function so that their children can only call and text. So guess what? We've allowed smartphones to become the central point of our lives, the most important piece of information we have. Now, this thing goes on to say that the age at which they get their first phones has gotten even younger. You can read through this. Don't worry, this link's going to be in there. They need to be restricting the amount of time. And let me tell you what, I heard loud and clear from many of you. I'm going to go back to main screen here. Heard loud and clear from many of the parents out there. It's kind of what I did a quick Facebook Live on from the airport on Sunday. I've heard from so many parents, and they come up and they tell me anecdotally, say, hey, look, when I let my kid on there, it changes his behavior. Is it 30 minutes? Is it 60 minutes? Sometimes it's as little as 30 minutes, and it changes their behavior. They get attached to that thing. They can't go anywhere without it. They want to be able to get on the screen. They want to be able to do something, and it affects their attitude. It affects their behavior. And guess who pays the price for it? The parents. Because you've created this creature. You've created this little digital monster that is now feeding into your kids' minds and saying, hey, don't put me down. Don't put me down. I need to use this stuff. So, hey, guys, we've got to do something about that. Again, that's why this hashtag I keep saying is be the example. You have to be the example. You set the example whether you want to or not. There's a couple famous stories, and you can pick and choose your person, but you take a look, and what happens is that when you go back and you look, why did you do what you do? They said, because that's the way I always saw it being done. Whether it was an abusive household, whether it was drinking. Now, there are exceptions to the rules. There are some people who say, look, you and a spouse or a sibling, let's say, you both came from the same set of parents, but one turned out just fine. The other one inherited the problems of the parents. Maybe it's drinking, for example, alcoholism. And you might ask the one kid, well, how come it affected you so much? And the one kid goes, it's because my dad was alcoholic. And then you ask the other kid who was successful, well, how come you succeeded so much? It's because my dad was an alcoholic. It's the same answer, different set of motivations. They were the example. Now, fortunately for some of those folks, the example they set said, I don't want to be that. Kids, but you're putting that all on the shoulders of children to make those kind of nuances in those decisions. Parents can't do that. You have to set clear guidelines, clear examples. If you sit at a stoplight and you're on your phone, your kid will be on their phone. If you are on your phone during dinner, your kid will be on your phone during dinner. If you go out to dinner, your kid will be on the phone. And so again, you have to set the example. But what bothered me about this report, and this is why I wanted to bring it to your attention, is 25% of kids, and this was in the UK, so I'm going to look for some stuff in the US, but trust me, it pretty much is all the same. 25% of the kids under 6 had a smartphone. No way. I'll tell you what. Remember, this is about being a benevolent dictator, not a bestie, not a friendie, they're not your peers. Children are not our peers. No matter how smart they may think they are, and trust me, having raised kids, I know some of them, they are smart, but I've taught you everything you know, just not everything I know. So that's why you have to be a benevolent dictator. And part of this is making them understand is that this luggage is too heavy for you to carry. This baggage is too heavy. You can't carry it. So you need to start making some decisions. Is if you are concerned, if your primary concern is about their safety and security and you want to make sure they have connectivity with you whenever they need it, then what's wrong with the flip phone? I'll tell you what's wrong with the flip phone, because I can hear parents saying now, well, but their friends have it. This isn't about their friends, all right? How many of you guys heard this when you're growing up? Well, if Billy went up and jumped off the bridge, would you do the same thing? Well, of course not. I don't care if other kids have it. I don't care if their friends have it. We've seen the negative impact, and the younger you are, the more harm it creates. And remember, from our statistics, suicide was on a downslope until 2007. What came out in 2007, the iPhone, right after Facebook went public. Girls 10 to 14 affected the most, 320% increase in suicide. Some of you guys may be getting tired of hearing these stats. The reason I keep repeating them over and over again is guess what? Because we got parents giving kids under the age of 6 a smartphone. This has to stop. If you're concerned about their safety and that is your primary concern, then give them a flip phone. It's in fact, it's easier to dial 911 on a flip phone. Flip 911. Don't have to worry about sliding. Don't have to worry about passwords or anything else. Flip, open 911. Hey, look, if that's not cool, this isn't about being cool. This is about being safe. This is about raising a generation of kids who are modeling your behavior. And if your behavior is bad and your examples are bad, then you will be the example. It'll just be the wrong kind of example. So we want you to be the best kind of example you can be. Where are we at for time? We're doing good. Hey, what the heck? We're just having fun here. So anyway, so what we're going to do is some exciting news. I was working with Aaron Walker over this weekend. Like I said, we're out at the Iron Sharpens Iron men's retreat for our mastermind groups. He has got a doctor out of California who happens to be one of his coaching clients who specializes in the treatment of addiction for children that have issues with technology. And by the way, it's not the children who have the issues, it's the parents. The parents have the issues. The children don't have a problem because they can do whatever they want because the parents let them do it. So we're going to talk about some strategies for parents. So this is going to be cool. I think I need to nail down a date, but we can start looking at the dates. It's either going to be a week from this Thursday or 2 weeks from this Thursday. So that would make it. Let me pull up my quick calendar here on the magic of the interweb here. So we're either looking at maybe Thursday the 19th or Thursday the 26th. So we may be targeting Thursday the 19th or Thursday the 26th for our next free webinar. Be about 1 hour long. This one's going to be more Q&A. We're not going to do slides like we did last time. So what I'm going to do when we get ready to do this, and in fact, if you guys want to start dropping me some notes here right here on Facebook on this video, what kind of questions would you like to ask the expert? We're going to ask the expert, and we're going to have Dr. Gary come on. Dr. Andy. I'm sorry, his first name is Andy. I'm going to keep his real name hidden for purposes of national security until he's on the show because Jack Bauer says so. Right, so anyway, Jack will now be a permanent part of the show. I heard it loud and clear. Jonathan Fosnock, thank you very much. He didn't care about me. He cared more about the bacon. Inside joke, you'll have to get that. And Jack Bauer, nobody cared about me. It was this inanimate object here. Well, maybe we're both inanimate objects. Anyway, parents, be the example. Check out the show notes. Hey, share this with your friends. Remember, join our community. It's free, 3 questions to answer. Hop into the community. I've got lots of resources also in this about hidden hashtags on Instagram, hidden languages, about how to protect yourself on Facebook, setting your security and privacy settings, which is very important with these hearings coming up. Get all your free stuff over here in the show notes up here. I don't know where it is because depending on how Facebook formats it for your screen, it could be somewhere here. All right. So you guys hop on that. We're going to do that for today. Working on the podcast. Another good, interesting update. Working on the podcast. Need a name for the podcast. So I've heard things about everything about Parents on Demand, Zombie Kids. So I'm trying to get something that reflects the nature. I'm here to teach parents. I'm not here for the kids. I'm here for the parents, because if I'm here for the parents, put your oxygen mask on before helping the person next to you, right? You've got to take care of yourself before you can take care of the person next to you, and that's your kid. So we're here to take care of you first. So give me some ideas. Let me know. And anybody whose idea ends up being the winning idea, I will send you a batch of my wife's cookies. She's going to bake cookies for the winter. They're delicious. Trust me, you're going to want them. Okay? All right, till Wednesday, Morgan Wright signing off. Join the community. Share this with your friends. And remember, be the example.